We're going to start things off by a linebacker out of Syracuse, Justin Barron.
Ow! Where is he coming from? There we go.
There's Justin.
How you doing, Justin?
Next up, corner from Kentucky, Zion Childress.
What's good, big dog?
Safety from Syracuse, Elijah Clark.
Yeah! Safety crew, safety crew. We love it. We love it. What's going on, big dog?
Tight end out of Auburn, Rivaldo Fairweather.
Yes, indeed.
I heard at least one War Eagle as we were up there. I heard one while they were up there. Corner from Stephen F. Austin, Bruce Harmon.
Bruce. What's going on, big dog?
Wide receiver out of Oregon, Trayshawn Holden. Wide receiver out of Texas Tech, Josh Kelly. Tight end from Virginia, Tyler Neville.
I can't blow by my man.
Almost got it. Safety out of Eastern Kentucky, Mike Smith.
Safety crew. Love it. Love it. Safety crew. Love it. Love it.
Once again, let's give it up for the 2025 undrafted class for your Dallas Cowboys. Remember these faces because they will be one of your favorite players very, very soon as they continue toward Oxnard minicamp next week and getting ready to make the team for your Dallas Cowboys. All right, now we would like to introduce the 2025 Dallas Cowboys rookie draft class. Can you guys make some noise?
It made it seem like you like make a wish or something.
Starting with defensive tackle from Maryland, Tommy Akingbas. Running back from Clemson, Phil Mafah. Defensive tackle from UCLA, Jay Toia. Tackle from Oregon, Ajani Cornelius. Linebacker from Florida, Shamar James. Running back from the University of Texas, Jadon Blue. Corner from East Carolina, Savion Revel. Defensive end from Boston College, Donovan Ezukanma. And last but certainly not least, the first-round pick, guard from Alabama, Tyler Booker. Your 2025 rookie draft class for the Dallas Cowboys, everybody.
Good-looking class, man.
It's a great-looking class, and we've gotten to know a couple of these guys over these last couple of weeks. The one thing I will say about this class is there's a lot of personality. There's a lot of personality, individuals across the board. And I want to just say we've had some great moments up here the last couple of years. We've had DeMarvion Overshone get up here and sing before. We've had Maris Leofau get up and sing before.
Great voice.
A couple linebackers over the last 2 years. We only have one linebacker in this draft class, and that's Shamar James. So You can't sing.
You get the vocals for us? Oh, man.
So
all right.
you're not going to sing. We won't ask you to do so.
Appreciate you.
Ask him to
But
dance.
that's the number one thing I wanted to point out is that the linebackers the last couple of years have represented. So we're excited to have you here, Shamar, as always. Let's start with Tyler over here. Tyler, just tell us what it's been like the first couple months. It's been a whirlwind, I'm sure, from April until now. But your first impression of being a Dallas Cowboy?
Man, I just love being a Dallas Cowboy first and foremost. I actually did my combine training out here in Dallas and just living in the area for those few weeks and just driving around and be like, man, it'd be pretty cool to live in Dallas. And luckily, the Lord worked it out for me to be a Dallas Cowboy. So it's truly been a blessing and to now be here officially going through OTAs, learning and playing with some of my teammates, getting used to them. It's really just been a dream come true, to be honest with you.
So, I didn't get to experience the draft and all that good stuff. I was undrafted, but how was that? Like, how was that whole process going through it? And then draft day, you hear your name called. What emotions were going through your mind when you found out that you were going to be a Dallas Cowboy?
No, yeah, it was super cool. And I was a lot calmer than most on draft day just because I knew that I had done everything. I did the combine. I played really well at Alabama for 3 years. My character was really well known amongst everyone, so I know the work had been done, and that was just meant for me to enjoy that time with my family and say, like, look, y'all, like, look how far we've come. So I really enjoyed draft week to finally get that call. They made me wait a little bit. So I don't know if everybody knows, but when you're in that green room, people, so like, let's say like on TV, they're on pick 5, pick 7 is already on the phone. So I'm just sitting there and I see a minute and 30 seconds left. I'm like, man, I really want to go to Dallas. And my agent, Nicole, she was like, look at your phone. I was like, oh, they called me. So finally got the call. But yeah, I was super excited. I'm very blessed to be here.
Now, you talked about wanting to go to Dallas. What made Dallas stick out during your training, and why was being in the Metroplex what you wanted for yourself?
Well, to be honest with you, the thought of no state income tax really opened my eyes.
I understand that completely.
You're saying that to the right crowd. There's a lot of financial executives out there. You are in the right spot to say that one.
But yeah, a more football-based answer is just how much this area, how much really the state of Texas cares about football. Like I'm born and raised in New Haven, Connecticut, and I went to the University of Alabama because I wanted to go somewhere where they actually cared and loved football, and you could definitely feel that same vibe here. So to be somewhere where they actually care about football is different, and you could just feel it. And then also just being a Dallas Cowboy, just watching Dallas as I was growing up, you just see that all those great offensive lines that Dallas has. So for me to be a part of a great offensive line fraternity like that is just it gives me something to look forward to and goals to set for myself to be regarded as some of the greats, just like to coming after Zach. And then I was able to meet Tyron last week, so just being able to be immersed within that fraternity is really cool.
It's awesome to have that continued, and that's kind of the camaraderie of the offensive line, right? It's a legacy here, and they've had such great success in the past with their offensive linemen. Now, as I was getting ready for this event, I got asked multiple times, are the turtles in Dallas yet?
Not yet.
Tell us a little bit about your pet turtles.
So the turtle story starts back again when I was in Dallas before. So Dallas will forever hold a special place in my heart because that's where I got my 2 babies at. So.
And what were the names?
So Turquavion,
Hold on, run that back. Hold on. What was his name again?
Turquavion.
Okay. All right.
And then Trina.
And Trina.
Yes.
Trina got some popularity during draft time.
Oh yeah, Trina's super popular. Unfortunately, Turquavion passed away, but Trina's still doing really well. But I would just get back home from combine training and be like, man, I'm bored. I have nothing to do. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get 2 turtles. So I went to the Serpentarium. I think it's about 10 minutes from here. And they had one. So Trina, she was actually on top, and she actually crawled up to me. I was like, oh yeah, this is she's mine. And then they were like, well, she has a sibling in there too. Like, do you want to get him too? I was like, well, I got to. Now you can't split up a family.
Nah.
So.
Jay, do you have any pets? You didn't bring any turtles or anything? Nothing? No? Not this time around?
No, never.
Now, one thing that Tyler has seen, because he's played in the Southeastern Conference and he's played down south through the majority of the career, is how warm it gets down here during the summer. Donovan Ezukanma played at Boston College. Are you ready for the summer heat that is in Texas? Are you ready for this?
So I was just having a conversation upstairs,
And I was like, yeah, it's been, last week, it was a really hot week. And they were like, well, you haven't seen anything yet. I'm like, damn.
I don't know.
Good thing we start fall camp in Oxnard, California, so I think I'll be.
Oxnard's different.
Yeah.
And you get back out here for a little bit, and it's nice and hot in the middle of August. Fluids are important.
Yeah.
Make sure and hydrate and get through it. I'm sure Bill O'Brien told you once or twice.
Yeah, all that.
About it all. What's been the biggest thing for you so far being down here in Dallas?
It's been a very, very, very good transition and experience for me, honestly. I kind of didn't have a similar story to T-Book, but I had no idea I was going to be down here in the first place. And when I saw my phone ring on draft night and it said the Star, what, the Star? Like, what is the Star? And I answered it. Somebody named, Mr. Jerry Jones answered the phone. And
I've heard of him before.
So it's a very, 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 very great experience. It's been a blessing being here so far, transitioning from, BC to here, meeting great guys. I think we have a very, very, very good rookie class, and I'm excited for the future.
So you like to come off the edge and sacking the quarterbacks and all that. We understand that. Is there someone either here with the Cowboys or currently playing in the NFL, or it could be in the past, that you would kind of model your game after?
Yeah, I of course, I've watched tape of the guy that's here on the other side.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's a beast. But I've watched, Von Miller's been in the league since I started playing football, which is crazy because, we're in the same league now. Many other guys, DeMarcus Ware, a legend. But I study a lot of guys. I try to take different and small bits and pieces from everybody just to, kind of add it to my game in a way.
Make it your own, right? Here we go.
And the defense is a brotherhood, just like we talked about with the offensive line. I mean, all three of these guys that are sitting up here in the front, for sure. I mean, Ezukanma, James, Toia, Revel. I mean, any of the guys that are on the defense, you've already met with Eberflus. You've gotten to make that connection. I mean, he really wants you guys to be close and for it to be complementary. How much, Shamar, has that changed from maybe your past coaching now that you've gotten into the NFL?
Yeah, so Coach Flus, like you said, he's real big on like knowing the guy next to you, like personally, like outside of this facility. So I mean, I would say that's a little unique for me because everybody think it's just football that's gonna win you games when you come in the facility, but really it's when I'm getting to know Dono outside of the facility, when I get to know what makes him tick, what makes him go. So I feel like that's a special idea to come up with as a defensive coordinator.
You know what makes linebackers really successful, right? Really good defensive tackles, too.
Yes,
so
sir.
I want you to tell me something about Jay that maybe somebody doesn't know out here.
Jay has a fiance, a wife, fiance, right?
Fiance, wife?
Yeah, girl. Well,
Okay.
soon to be. I'm sorry. I probably broke the news too early, but yeah, Jay has a significant other that he loves very much. And,
That's awesome.
And yeah, so that's something I learned about Jay.
We're all learning. Jay, is this right?
Yeah.
Where did y'all meet?
Oh, girl.
Where did you meet?
My girl?
Yeah.
At a church conference
Very
in LA.
nice.
Yeah.
There we go.
You hear all the girls out here. I get to see the real side of football. That's awesome. That's good stuff. Savion over here played at East Carolina. You're coming off of an injury, but all things are looking good, right?
Yeah.
What's kind of the rehab process been like for you as you continue to get ready for the season?
I tore my ACL back in September last year. Had surgery October 15th. So I've been in Dallas for about 8 months. So after that, I guess after my surgery, I'm on the 7th month right now. So, the process, you're going in and out of a lot of things. And, we had the 30 visits, you had the combine, then you had the meetings, Zoom calls and everything. So that was kind of interfering with what I had going on. But at the end of the day, I knew how to deal with it, talk to myself, talk to my family, talk to God, the man, the Savior that brought me down here, and do what I got to do, and place my own circle. I built my own circle, surrounding myself around people that wanted me to be my best, and that gave me positive energy to just keep going, not getting down on myself, not going in a room thinking I'm not finna play football no more, just taking it to myself, because at the end of the day, you got to be available for yourself to do better. So
Yeah,
that's kind of my role.
So, well, you got one of the best training staffs in all of football.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I've spent plenty of time back there with Brett Brown and Jim Maurer and those guys. But what type of mindset do you have to have when you're attacking a rehab such as an ACL?
I mean, you gotta attack every day like you hungry,
Yeah.
Like
sure.
like you gotta attack every day like you're not the starter. You know what I mean? You gotta want to do it. Not do it because you gotta do it. You gotta want to do it.
100%.
And that's what a lot of coaches has instilled inside of me, and I've worked my way up to that, and as a person being self-motivated. So I just go every day and continue to do what I do. And whatever they say, they ain't telling me nothing wrong. And I work for other legends and other players. So I'm going to take their note, key in on myself, and do what I got to do.
That's awesome. And it's not the only time you've had to overcome some adversity, too. I know you have a background as an Amazon truck driver, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Amazon truck? What happened there? Why did you end up doing that? And where did it lead?
Hey, y'all might need to grab some popcorn because
Okay.
I've told this story a million times.
For those who were wondering.
But I ended up at Amazon pretty much. This is more for the younger generation and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all in here, but as I started high school, I wasn't the best student. I was always a good person though. But when it came to I was always a little guy. So after football practice, I try to get some weight room, lifting in and everything. Ain't know nothing about recovery. So I go back the next day thinking I can do the same weight. No. But my freshman and sophomore year, ain't have the greatest grades. So the toughest thing my high school career was knowing that 11th and 12th grade year I wasn't eligible, or I was a non-qualifier going into college. So that's kind of where Amazon kind of kicked in, because I'm a kind of person. I like to stay productive. I like to move around. I like to always be doing something to keep my mind going. So I got that Amazon job. My dad was doing his research. I continued to work out in front of my mom's yard, the backyard, my dad's man cave, brought up some weights upstairs to do some lunges, some squats, because the only thing I could use at that time while I was working at Amazon. So I'm keep it a little brief. Amazon came, went to Lewisburg. My dad called me one day. He was like, "Hey, Lewisburg want to offer you." It's a small JUCO in Lewisburg, North Carolina. It's too small, but to me it was big because it was another opportunity for me to go out there and show what I could do. And I also had free access to a gym, a field, and that kept me moving around. That kept me productive. I don't know. I don't like to take naps. I don't know. I like to keep going. So my whole thing about it was, okay, the Amazon was just a process. I felt like it was a process because it's this is not where I want to be. This is where I'm not comfortable. And that's where, when I say being available for yourself, you got to know what you want to do, and you got to know what you got to do to get there. So I went to Lewisburg. All I had to do was get my GPA up, my grades up. Got that up first 2 semesters. And then I came to East Carolina. I went to East Carolina Prospect Camp where you ran the 40, the broad jump, vertical, et cetera. Same thing you do at the combine, but at the end we had one-on-one. So what they did was they liked what they seen. I was long, I was fast, I was a little smaller than I am now. They offered me, had a 2.0 around that time. I'm not afraid to say it because a lot of kids, I want a lot of kids to know that it's not where you start. It's not how you begin. It's how you finish. You know what I mean? You got to keep working. Just because you hit one bump in your road don't mean your job is done. You got to accept those challenges, And a lot of people say you got to be comfortable being uncomfortable, you know what I mean? And you got to put yourself in the positions in order to grow. And so that's what I did was I got through that JUCO, got that 2.0 they offered me that day, went back to school. All I had to do was get a 2.5 or higher. But, I exceeded that. I said, okay, they want a 2.5. I'm going to give them a 2.8. Or I might give them a 3.0. But anything to keep me away from that, and I always said to myself when I was at Lewisburg, I was like, if I can make a C, I can make a B. If I can make a B, I can make an A. And that's just kind of how I just grew into it and just kept working. So I learned from my mistakes or the lesson I had my 9th and 10th grade year, not feeling like I won't ever be able to play football again or feeling that low of myself ever again. So just taking that into the future, and for the kids, for the youngins, your road ain't gonna stop, but I will say go at your own pace, go win your own race. You ain't gotta live your life based off what you see on social media and stuff like that. So just keep listening to the old folks, and that's what I did. Listen to the old, listen to the old. They ain't really telling you nothing wrong unless you got something else on the side, But I take I think Shamar, whoever y'all said told me over there. Yeah. I took a little few key points from them and instilled it inside of my life, and it worked. So I'm here now, so I'm grateful.
That's awesome. How cool is that? Very cool stuff. Now, do we have any Texas Longhorn fans in here? Any of them? I figure there's probably a couple, and there's a couple Aggies in here too, I heard it. Jadon Blue, Texas Longhorn running back, went to a couple college football playoffs. She got to play for Tashard Choice, one of the former Dallas Cowboys running backs, and he's already been very complimentary of you and the other guys that were in that room. I mean, how prepared are you for this moment, knowing that you played with other guys like Bijan and like Roshan and some of these other guys that have had success in the league, and you got to learn from a former Dallas Cowboy and Tashard Choice.
Yeah, like you said, the good thing is I had a coach that's been done there and played it. So that's my guy, man. He's helped me with a lot of things. You know, he's made me a better player and a better person off the field. So, you know, I give him a lot of credit. He's helped me get through a lot of adversity that I've been through, and I'll be there. Our relationship was really tight, and he's a guy that I can go to at any time I'm going through something. So, yeah, he's helped me become the person I am today. And, you know, with the guys that's in the league now that played ahead of me at Texas, they also helped me in a big way. I followed their lead. You know, they were not only great football players, but great guys. So, yeah, I give Coach Choice and those guys a lot of credit because, you know, I don't think I would be here today if it wasn't for them.
Yeah, Tashard, he's a great person, great man. He was a former teammate of mine myself. So I know he's gotten you prepared for the National Football League and being here in the Dallas Cowboys. So early on, I know it's early, it's OTAs, I got mini camp next week and all that good stuff, but is there anything that surprised you, or is there anything that you've learned so far about being a Dallas Cowboy?
Nothing really surprised me, but the playbook has kind of surprised me on how long, you know, the plays are and everything. But
heavy.
like I said, man, he prepared me really well to be on this stage, and you know, it helps a lot with him, you know, being a former NFL player. So he's gave me a lot of ins and outs of what to look for and, you know, what to prepare for.
Okay. Have you gotten to talk to any of those other Longhorn running backs that are in the NFL yet since you were drafted and gotten to pull from them?
I've talked to all of them still. Talked to Bijan, you know, I talked to JB the other day. Just, you know, trying to get him some great words of wisdom, you know, to get through his injury again. Talked to Keelan some, and, you know, I talked to Roshan also. You know, they also check on me and make sure I'm all right. So, yeah.
What's it been like also having a guy like Phil here, another running back in the room that's in the same situation? Phil, I know, what has your situation been like for the most part, having the combination between you and Jadon?
Oh, it's been awesome, you know, just for us to be able to come in together, be able to compete, make each other better. You know, iron sharpens iron, and, you know, we make each other better. And I'm just excited for, you know, the running backs that are in the room too, those veterans. They have so much knowledge, and we get to learn from them every day, you know, get to know them and just, you know, really bind together as a team, and those things, you know, are priceless.
What would you say your biggest strength is coming into the National Football League being a running back? Like, what set you apart and let you be dominant to be able to be in this position you are right now?
I would say my size and my quickness at my size, and being able to, you know, pass pro and catch the ball at the backfield, you know, just being able to utilize who I am as a bigger guy, but still being able to move.
And you can run over some people, too. I've seen it on tape a couple times. Big-bodied running back. You love contact, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You've told me that before, too. You invite contact. I mean, I know you're not hitting yet, but how do you anticipate the step up whenever it comes to the preseason and the NFL physicality?
I do believe the NFL is definitely physical, but, you know, my mindset is just prepare myself the best I can each and every day. And, you know, when I get that opportunity, give it my all. And I know that because I prepare myself, my confidence will be there. And I believe that will make me successful in the end.
You got to be friends as running backs, both Jadon and Phil, with your offensive line. How much have you connected with these guys across the board, like Ajani, like Tyler, a couple of the guys that are on the team already offensive line-wise, to be ready for that moment?
All the time. They're the guys who lead the way, and, you know, without them, there's no, you know, us. So I take a lot of pride in, you know, being there for my old linemen and making sure that I, you know, do as much as I can to make sure that, you know, they have my support and appreciate them because, like I said, they make everything happen. And, you know, for me to be able to be the player that I want to be, you know, they have to, you know, get that done up front. So, like I said, man, I try to do as best as I can to make sure I'm doing, you know, everything in my power to make sure that I keep those guys up and they have my support.
Johnny, has he bought you dinner or anything yet? Has he taken you out? Like, you know, you hear quarterbacks do that, but I think running backs should too, right?
Whole room.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still kind of waiting on that, but I'm glad you brought that up. This weekend, we could probably figure that out, right, Blue?
I'm just trying to, like, nudge it a little bit, you know, trying to help you out a little bit here. What's it been like for you on the offensive line, just like Tyler said, getting to learn from some of these guys? It's kind of a new room, but you also have some veterans that are mixed in and sprinkled in there, too.
Nah, definitely. You got the veterans in the room, which I'm very grateful for. And honestly, it's just been a blessing. the biggest advice to me from Coach Riley was just to be a sponge. And that's what I try to do every day is grow as much as I can and, ask questions and hear what the vets are saying, hear what the coaches are saying, and just take everything in. And like I said, just keep growing.
That's awesome. Now, it was funny. I turned back over here to see an offensive player, and I realized this whole side over here is defensive heavy.
It's the right
which
side.
is your favorite.
That's the right side of the ball.
Defensive guy. We haven't talked to Tommy yet. Tommy Akingbas out of Maryland. You're one of the things about your draft experience is you had to wait all the way up until the 7th round. But when it happened, I mean, how much relief was there to get that call, and then how many DMs or text messages did you get from that point forward once you ended up getting the call from the Cowboys?
It was really exciting to get that call. I was waiting since 12 p.m. all the way to 6, so it was a long wait. But when I got the call, I was blessed. Thank God. I had great times with my family, and I went from 6,000 followers on Instagram to 8,000, so it was
Nice.
It's a bump. A good bump.
There's probably, 1,000 people in here. We should get them to 9 before the end of the day.
Yeah, but
that always helps out.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. And football or not, who had the biggest impact on you as far as growing up or your football career, whatever the case may be? Who had the biggest impact on you?
I would say it was my elementary school PE teacher. He was a football coach for his little youth city team. He seen potential in me. I was just a big 4th grader who was the biggest 4th grader in the school.
What?
He gave my mom a call. I thought I was in trouble, but for it was him inviting me to come play for his team, and ever since then, he took me in as a son. I slept at his house every weekend because my parents had to go to work, provide for the family. He took me in, was at his house every weekend for the games and whatnot, and I wouldn't be here without him, so I give him all the thanks.
That is super cool, everybody.
Cool.
Very, very
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So now that we've gotten to talk to everybody up here and kind of get to hear some of the different parts of their personality and their story and things, I mentioned earlier with Will McClay, one of the big themes throughout the year is competition every day. Right?
Gotta have it.
All the competitions. We've heard about the basketball and we've heard about the ping pong and the video games and things like that. Is there anybody up here who's confident that you could defeat one of the other teammates up here in any category? You think, okay, so we've got some guys. That's
Okay, I'm about to say defense. We got this.
So Brian Schottenheimer would be happy at that answer. That's good. That's good. What about rock, paper, scissors? You think you can win some rock, paper, scissors?
do it.
You guys down to do a rock, paper, scissors tournament?
Let's do
You want to do that?
Tournament?
Are y'all cool with that? You a little competition here? Here's how I'm going to have it happen. We're going to start down here. Tyler Booker, you were the first-round pick. You're going to get a bye.
Okay.
Because we have an odd number of people.
He gets the bye.
You get a bye. I'm sorry. That's just how I decided.
He was the number
to do
1
it.
seed. I got you.
So we're going to start on, we're going to pair it up by 2. So it'll be Tommy versus Jay. It'll be Shamar versus Donovan.
We can't go offense.
Right, you gotta go defense, offense.
Okay, bet. Let's do it. Yeah, that's fine.
That's how we do it.
All right, so
That's how we do it.
So
That's how we do
we'll
it.
go across. Y'all want to line up here, like right across, just paired up. So Phil will take on Tommy,
Get the weakest link.
and I want you to cheer as loudly as possible
Is it a
for
best of
whoever
3?
you want to cheer.
Is it a best of 3 or just whoever
Oh
wins?
no, it's one and done.
Just one and done.
Oh yeah.
Oh, all
We're not
right.
trying
There
to
we
take all
go.
day here.
Okay.
Yeah, this is one and done. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot is what we'll do. Yeah, so that's what we'll do. Winner stays, loser will take a seat. All right?
No slow releases.
Go from there. All right, y'all ready? Here we go. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Phil Mafah wins. Yeah, you a little more serious.
It's all good. It's all good. That's one. That's
I
one.
want you to pick a
That
guy.
was a little slow, by the way. That was a little slow.
He did have a little slow release there. It was a little slow release.
Is there a challenge on the play? Okay, so Phil's still alive.
Okay.
So we'll do a Johnny versus Jay. Oh, this is perfect.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Here we
Offensive
go.
line versus defensive
Come on,
line.
Jay.
Let's lock
You
in.
guys
Let's
go ahead
lock
and do it
in.
so
What we
that way
got?
you say rock, paper, scissors, shoot, so there's no delay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper,
on,
scissors,
Jay.
shoot. Rock, paper,
Come on,
scissors,
Jay.
Offense is 2-0 right now. Oh, man. All right, we got to rep now. We got to represent
Now
now.
we've got Jadon and Donovan. Somebody cheer just for
Here
your
we
favorite
go.
player.
Here we go.
Who you got?
Go, Blue.
Defense.
Go, Blue.
Defense.
All right, here you go. Y'all start it.
Yeah, you said rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ooh, 3-0.
Easy, boy.
This ain't looking too good.
This guy's ready to go.
This ain't looking too good for my side of the ball right now,
Easy
man.
money.
So this will be
We defense right here.
So this will be defense. So Donovan's going to be the benefactor here because We change the rules as it goes. Tyler, get up here.
There we go. There we go.
You get a bye. That's right. Will get a bye. Yeah, that'll be
Here we
it.
go.
You saying it?
You do it.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Get out of here. That's a sweet. Get out of here.
Hold on, we down to one defensive player? Are we down to one defensive player?
We need to just put Savone.
Get back on track, baby.
The whole this side, the entire side.
Swept us.
So
That's tough.
No, you got
you want to go against me?
No.
You go against Barry.
No, you want that smoke?
No. The other
Yeah,
He want that smoke. He want the smoke.
He can save us.
You can hold the
Hey,
microphone.
Shamar, make us look good, man.
Lays me down a little bit. All right.
Save us.
This is defense versus
Secondary versus secondary, though. I mean,
you know.
Got no offensive players.
Yeah.
True. Here we go. You can call it. I love it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shooting.
Okay.
I let him win that one.
That's
You know?
okay.
I let him win that one.
No,
You got to go against Phil.
Okay. So
All
Savone
right,
will
here we
stay
go,
up here.
Savon. Here we go.
Savone versus Phil.
Come on, let's make some noise.
See if it'll happen.
Represent for the secondary, man. We got represent for the secondary. Here we go, defense.
You got it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, step up. Step
Hey,
up.
don't call
step
it a
up.
comeback. Don't.
Yeah.
You the last one?
Give him my man.
Come on,
Sit down for a little bit.
He had it.
represent for the defense.
It'll be you and
Oh, I
Johnny.
thought we was on defense. Okay.
What you doing?
This was for dinner.
I was late.
They ain't paying for dinner. They ain't paying for dinner.
Let's go, Shamar.
All right, here we go.
Represent for the
Represent for the secondary.
Defense.
Oh, give me some time. Give me some time.
Defense. Defense.
You don't need no time.
You ready?
Let's go.
Come on. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Come on, baby.
Here we go.
Oh, yeah, Blue, step up, Blue.
Hold on, is this the championship, right?
So this is for the championship match.
Okay.
Your 2025
Bragging rights.
Dallas Cowboys rookie draft.
Defense.
So if you were cheering for the defensive side, let me hear it.
There we go.
That's a little weak.
If you're cheering for the offense in Mr. Texas Longhorn, it's pretty even. Here we go,
Here we
Joe.
go.
You got
No
it.
pressure.
Got it.
No
You got it.
pressure.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Come on. Let's go.
I like that.
Not the no-look paper.
Hey, I made
That
it
was
to the
tough.
2025
There it is.
rock, paper, scissors champion, Jadon Blue.
Bragging rights for
By
the
the
year.
way,
That was awesome.
That was good.
That was
I love
good.
it. Let us see it. Let us see it.
Jadon plays this game 24/7.
You're right.
I hope you guys just got a taste, just a little taste of what things are like behind the scenes, right? This is every day that Schottenheimer is having you guys do this type of stuff. That this is really what it's like to compete every day. And it got real there for a second. I loved it. Loved every second of it. But you think about all the different elements of teamwork and camaraderie and fellowship, and that's a big part of it. So can't wait to see that continue on. You guys are going out to training camp in about a month or a month and a half.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of time. What's the number one thing, Tyler, that you're excited for Cowboys Nation to see when you get out to Oxnard, California?
The thing I'm most excited for Cowboys Nation to see is how we compete every day. You know, how you do anything is how you do everything. So like, just like how you saw how competitive we were playing rock, paper, scissors, shoot, how competitive we are in a team meeting, shooting hoops, like how you do anything is how you do everything. So like, we're gonna be the most competitive team in the league, and we're gonna practice that through training camp. And so I'm very excited for everybody to see that.
Awesome.
There we go. For one final time, let's give it up for our 2025 Dallas Cowboys rookie class, everybody.